Hello, I'm Kyle, an Adobe Creative Cloud Specialist at the University of Arizona, and in this video, I'll be introducing you to Adobe Express Video, a simple yet powerful tool for creating quick, polished videos with ease. Today, we'll be covering everything from the basics all the way up to advanced techniques such as turning yourself into a hot dog using character animator integrations. And if you're familiar with Premiere Pro, you'll find that Adobe Express is a more streamlined alternative, perfect for short-form content, social media, quick edits, and comes without the complexity of a professional editing suite. So whether you're new to video editing or just looking for a faster way to create engaging videos, Adobe Express has you covered. So let's dive in. There are a couple ways I can open Adobe Express. The first is from my Creative Cloud desktop app. I can open Adobe Express here or over here, and you're going to see that it says open in browser. When I click that, you will find that Adobe Express is a web-based application that operates within the web browser on the internet. This means I can also open the tool by just going to new.express.adobe.com. And you could also imagine that that means this tool works on my mobile device. Adobe Express has a lot to offer us, everything from editing images, creating graphics, but we're going to focus primarily today on creating videos. And I can do that in several places. If you see on the top of my browser here, I have video. I also have video here. If I select this plus, there's options for video below. And then down here at the bottom, I have an option to browse video templates. All of these options are essentially the same or similar, and any of them are fine to start from. But today I want to look at editing video in two separate ways. One is from scratch, but the second is creating a video from a template. Now, what really sets Adobe Express apart from some of the other video editing software is that it comes with built-in templates that I can choose and then completely change or change just a little bit to make them my own. You'll also notice that there are a lot of what we call video quick actions up above. If I just want to crop a video, or I want to convert a video to an MP4, or even I want to animate a character and turn my audio into a hot dog, I could do this here. Let's start by taking a look at some of these built-in templates. So first I would choose what format I want. Let's say I want to make an Instagram story, and I'll choose Browse Templates. And then on the left-hand side of my screen, as I scroll down, I can choose which template speaks to me. Something to keep in mind while selecting a template is that you don't have to like every element of what's been created. 100% of these templates can be changed and customized to your liking. What you want to do is select a template where you like that overall feeling or vibe, or you like something about it, maybe even it's just a font. That gives you a starting point, and then you can change everything from there. Let's watch this 6-second Instagram story and see what we'd like to keep and what we'd like to change. So similar to other editing softwares, on the bottom we'll have a timeline that I can stretch out to make my video 13 seconds, or I could crop to make much shorter. I have a scroll bar here that's going to allow me to zoom in on my timeline so I can make more precise edits. Beneath my timeline, I have a track where I can add audio, whether that's music, or I could record a voiceover, or I could drag in a recording that I've already made. Okay, let's zoom back out a little bit. On the right-hand side, you're going to see that each element of my video is broken apart in different layers that I can move around and make adjustments to. And before we start talking about changing the video and editing the video, let's start by changing and adjusting some of these elements. So maybe instead of saying outfit of the day, let's say Adobe Express. So by selecting an element up above here, I can make changes to it. I could highlight Adobe Express and I could change the font. Below, I could change the color of the font. That might be a little hard to see. Let's choose orange. And I can make adjustments to its layout, its position, and even its opacity. Now this text has already been animated, whereas before I would have had to do something like this in After Effects. Adobe Express gives me an animation tab that allows me to animate any element of this image quickly and easily. So for having it animate in, let's make it bungee down. Let's have it kind of bob around a little bit. And then when we say out, let's have it drift. So now when we watch this video, we'll see that text is animated. Let's change a couple more elements. I can choose the background and change the background color up here based on recommendations. I'll select this element, and you can see that based on what element I have selected, my toolbar changes and it gives me different options for what I might want to do with that selected element. If I choose this main video, I can go to where it says replace and I can upload a video that I have on my computer, or I can replace it by choosing videos, and I can search for videos from Adobe stock. So let's just see, what do we have here under featured and free? At this point, I really want to customize this video and change the animations of each of these little elements. And I can do that by going down to the very bottom where this says show layer timing. And I'm going to toggle that on. The default is to have this toggled off. I really think it's an important editing tool. And you'll notice that there are these little purple dots. These are different animated elements and at what point in the video they appear and pop up. If you've used other editing software, you're probably used to there being multiple tracks. Those tracks still exist. They're just kind of hidden and they only appear when we select certain elements. These little purple dots indicate at which point these assets appear in our video. So as I scroll along, a different asset will appear at these points. So for example, if I want to make changes to my Adobe Express track, all I have to do is select that asset, and now that track appears in my timeline. If I want to adjust maybe this flower shape, if I select it, you're going to see now that track is made visible. So while all those tracks still exist, you only see the track that you have selected, and that's the track we'll be able to edit. Now let's imagine I want Adobe Express to pop up sooner. I can just drag this track back toward the beginning. Likewise, I can make it fade out earlier by dragging this back, or longer by dragging it forward. If I select these three lines, I'll see that they are visible for the entire duration of the video, and I can choose to make them disappear early or show up late. With that track selected, I can go to animation and I can see that they're already animated. I'll select loop. And now when I play my video, we'll see that they'll wiggle instead of yo-yo. When I've created an Instagram story that I'm happy with, I can either download it, or if I select share, I can create a link. I can make this into a template, or I can even click schedule post, where I can link my social media accounts, add a caption, and have this post directly to my Instagram. Adobe Express Video also gives me the ability to share a file in a collaborative way where I could add a collaborator so we can work on a project together. Now that we've looked at how I can take a template and quickly make it my own, Let's go back home and take a look at how Adobe Express can be a great tool for editing video from scratch. So let's choose video. Template options do appear on the right side for me. I'm going to close this and I'll choose a video by either selecting Add Media here or by clicking and dragging from an asset that I might have saved on my computer. That's a very attractive face. There we go. Oh, even better. And all those things that I did to my template, I can now do to this video. We'll start with an MP4 file of this Adobe specialist talking about Adobe Express video. Let's start off by learning how to trim or edit a clip. Let's say we made a mistake or there's part of a clip that we don't want to keep. Hey everyone, my name's Kyle and this is a video we're going to use to practice video editing using Adobe Express. So let's say I don't want that first part. Let's zoom in a little more. When I right click, it's going to give me the option to split. And now I have this clip split into two separate assets. If I select this asset, I can hit delete on my keyboard. And now my video starts where I want it to. Do you want to create stunning videos in minutes? I sure do. I'm going to take a step back by hitting Command or Control Z to show you I can also clip an image by grabbing the front and dragging. And that will also trim the first part of my clip. Both of those work great. Maybe we want to start with a nice video where I can put a title page. So to do that, I'm going to add a scene by selecting here, or again, I can just drag an element into my video, and I can rearrange these pretty easily by clicking and dragging. We'll start with a nice video of a mountain for our intro, and for our outro, maybe we'll do a time lapse of the city. A really convenient thing that happens in Adobe Express is whatever element I have selected, my options on the left will change based on what type of element it is. So let's say I have this time lapse that's 16 seconds. I could add some effects and some animations, as we know, but I could also do something like speed it up. So I can increase speed or decrease speed based on what I want. Now, as my speaker is talking about Adobe Express, maybe I want to add a video on top of this. I don't want my audio to go away. I actually just want my video to play on top of this so that the audio persists. By clicking right here, I'm going to be able to click and drag another asset on top like this. And then I can move that around and grab the corner and scale it up. So while the audio persists below, this new video is going to play on top. In order to get this video to start and end exactly where I want it, I'm going to go back down to where it says Show Layer Timing. And I'll select this asset and I'm going to scoot that forward so that maybe right here, it'll start playing. And then right here, it'll go back to my original clip. If I want a more subtle transition between the two, I can choose animation. Where it says in, we can have it fade in. And where it says out, we can have it fade out. Let's also go back to edit, and I'm going to speed that clip up just a bit. Let's see how this looks so far. Do you want to create stunning videos in minutes? The University of Arizona is an Adobe Creative Campus. All right, I like that. Maybe I want this element to end a little sooner. I can just click the end and drag it back, and then it won't play for quite as long. Now, maybe I want to add a video asset that I don't have saved on my computer. I can use Adobe stock integrations to find a video that might work for me. With Adobe Express, you can edit, enhance, and share videos effortlessly with no prior experience needed. Can you believe it? Okay, so I'll go over here where this says add, and I'm going to add media. Now I can add text, we'll do that in a bit. I can add design elements. I can even add charts and grids, but under media, I can choose video, and we're talking about video editing right now. And you can see I have 194 free stock videos of video editing. Let's grab this one, and you'll see that it will add it to the top corner. I'm going to drag it over where I wanted it, and this time I'm just going to have it play in the corner, maybe like this, while I'm speaking. I can round the corners. I can turn down the opacity a little bit. I could add a color effect to this video, and let's take a look. Press Premium. Just log in with your U of A Net ID. With Adobe Express, you can edit and all right, I think that looks great. I'm going to move it forward a little bit. And if they don't have an asset that you're looking for, you can always generate one using Adobe Firefly. So if I click Media, Generate Image, let's choose a square. We'll put it up in the corner, and maybe my video is about something very specific that might not be in Adobe stock. I can just do some text to image generation. I could type something wildly specific like a dog made of yarn in an ice cave warming its paws next to a fire. Let's see what it comes up with. It's always going to give me 4 options. I can choose my favorite, or I can continue to generate more. I could leave this up in the corner, or I could go back to this box and refine my description till I get exactly what I want. I'm also able to add all sorts of design elements, whether they're design assets, overlays, backgrounds, shapes, or icons. I can drag directly into my project, and those assets are all editable. Between your video, you can add transitions. So this jumps kind of abruptly from one to the other. By clicking this plus, I can either add a scene, or I could add a transition and give it like a nice dissolve. So now from one to the other, it will look a little bit cleaner. Do you want to create stunning? I don't. Okay, and then going all the way back to the beginning, I'll add a title page. I can do this by going add text. Let's make this say video editing. It'll offer me some recommended fonts. Ooh, I like that one so much. Let's change the color. These are also recommended. That's hard to see, so I'm going to give it a bold outline, and I'm going to go up to effects and give it some sort of drop shadow. I can even put a shape behind it. Let's change the color of that shape, change the size, and then I'll add some animations. We'll have it fade in, and then we'll have it fade out. If I select add audio, Adobe Express has libraries of sound effects that you can search and drag in, or you can kind of by genre find something that you think matches your video, and we'll have it fade in and fade out. Do you want to create stunning videos in minutes? I also have an option to animate characters. By clicking here, I can choose an avatar. This might look familiar. I can choose a background, and I can choose a size, and then I can record directly into my microphone, and this avatar will animate to my voice, or I could browse and I could drag in an audio track that I've already created. This is still in beta, and it's a little bit temperamental in my experience. But keep in mind that it only allows you to create up to 2-minute videos at this point. And once again, now that I'm happy with how my video turned out, I can share it with a friend to collaborate on a project. I could download as an MP4 at an amazing 1080p or whatever resolution you prefer. could download this, or I can also create a link that I can share for others to view and send me their comments. And that's a wrap on editing videos with Adobe Express. I hope this gave you a solid start on creating a quick and polished video, and I'm confident that you'll be on a roll in no time. See what I did there? Yeah. If you want to take your editing skills further, muster up the confidence to explore Premiere Pro for more advanced features. Still got it. Thanks for watching. Now go make some awesome videos.